Hi, I'm Laura, and I chose the 9 through 12 category because I teach high school. And prior to this, I didn't even know that the consent decree existed. I wasn't working in the field at the time that it was passed, so I wouldn't have known about new legislation. But I think it's important that students have the protections granted by the decree. And I can see how not only is language a barrier, but we also can associate certain cultural experiences with native language as well. One thing I've noticed with my students is that students who are not non-English, and I teach honors, so my students are all speak fluent English, and I haven't had a lot of experience working with ELL students. But one thing I find that they do struggle with is figurative language. A lot of our figures of speech that we use just don't make any sense to someone that has not grown up hearing them, or someone who doesn't have the cultural connections to make with that. So although it's not a disciplinary issue, I think that it is a way that students sometimes may suffer if they're not native English speakers, and grades can suffer, understanding in conversations. Another thing I've noticed too is that some of my students who are not native English speakers can feel intimidated by doing group work if they don't feel like they're as well understood. And I think it's important to to some extent, let people work together who have common language heritage. And I'm trying to be very careful in how I word that, because I wouldn't want it to come across as, that I'm separating students into groups based on their language. But I know that there are some students who work better together. And part of the reason is because they share similar background and family household languages. The last what if that I came up with is, what if there was a safety issue that students maybe just weren't understanding what was expected of them, like if there was a code red or something like that in the school. So I just think it's really important that as educators that we're cognizant of maybe, if, like, I don't speak other languages, but some of the nuances of language can be lost on English language learners. And so when I communicate, I try to communicate in ways that are direct and can be easily understood. Regardless of, talking to teenagers, I think you kind of have to be pretty direct anyway. But anyway, that's what I got. Thanks.